facing the same thing. There's a joke saying that the biggest or the most impacted disruptor in the market right now, not CEO, but it's COVID, COVID. So a lot of people also have been placing themselves as a digital laggards, and some of them quite denial on how the disruption happens, and they still try not to embark the digital transformation. Hence, hopefully after this webinar, you can get some insight on how to kickstart your process to go digital. Okay, so in this second section, I'm going to explain on challenges and opportunities that can come from this pandemic crisis. Number 3 is about digital strategy. Adopt, adapt, and evolve. Basically, without a digital strategy, a lot of companies have failed in their digital transformation process. 84%. I'm going to explain on that fact after this. Number 4 is the Fuji Xerox story. We can explain to you on how Fuji Xerox adapt to this crisis. We change our style to become a bit faster than before. We adopt the way on how startup works. So the way we work right now, like startup, very fast, very quick. So that's the bit part of interesting in this today's webinar. And last but not least, the way forward. I'm going to give several recommendations. If I'm mistaken, I have 5 recommendations for you to think about it, because it will make you more easier to enter and to face through this crisis together. And at the end of the day, we can be happy like a Mr. Bean. Okay, I don't really prefer to be very formal at this time, 3:35. Let's be a bit informal. Hopefully it will be much more fun, because all work without fun is meaningless, right? Okay, so the expectation for today. Wow, that's a long sentence here. Don't worry, we call it PowerPoint because it's PowerPoint. So I'm going to point 3 things for you. Number 1 and 2, strategy and obstacles. We're going to study that together in this session. And last but not least is the reason why we study the strategy and obstacles is for our organization to be ready. Okay, are you ready? Good. What digital transformation is not? The misinterpretation and misconception. I would like to quote a study done by Capgemini with MIT Sloan. They did a study in 2017. I know it's 3 years ago, but it's very good for all of us who just want to start their journey in this digitalization process. Okay, because why? Based on the study, most companies, there are total 400 companies that have been studied, and they look at, analyze based on the digital initiative that they put on their company, and it seems like only few of them, only few had positioned themselves to capture real business benefits. And even so, Forbes have reported that 84% of companies failed at digital transformation. Scary, right? Yeah. So basically, it's like 1 in 8 got it right, and then there were a range of failures to really whereby more than 50% actually just didn't go right at all. So to sum everything is 84%. And this can lead you to a lot of waste, especially in terms of money. Out of $1.3 trillion, only because 900 billion went to waste. Just imagine what happened to your investment after this. We don't know yet. That's why we need to have a strategy. But someone asked me, now that is what happened in global, nothing happened in Southeast Asia, right? Not really. Based on the study done by Intuit Research, I would like to quote that, especially on the SME, because SME, they are sometimes denial. I'm not saying that it's not good, but sometimes they prefer the traditional way of working. If it can be done, why do I need to change? Well, a lot of resistance that happen. And when we ask or we check with them, they understand the concept of digital transformation. They say that they are aware. Based on this study, 80%. So we are being correct on our assumption earlier. But from 80% awareness doesn't translate to understanding. Only 26% understand the concept of digital transformation. So why this thing happen? Let's check who actually use this buzzword digital transformation most. Who else rather than marketing and sales? 58% use the buzzword are coming from the marketing and sales. Another part is customer interaction and servicing. The reason why, of course, we want to preach our customer to buy our products. That's quite straightforward. So at the end of the day, who are happy with this trend? Of course, marketing and sales. But we don't want that happen. Okay, my marketing team is looking at me fiercely, but just want to get you straight, because right now we don't want the same things happen in the past. We can see the trend since 2015 until 2018. The trend goes the same. Everyone wants to use digital tools, but it seems like don't have the right strategy to really make use of it and brings the business value higher for their company. So we need to change this. Let's change our mindset right now. Click the button. Click the button, reset everything. Before you start to purchase, because of this pandemic crisis, we need to have a clear view on what digital transformation is all about. So let's start based on BCG. There are two concepts or two elements in digital transformation. Well, quite straightforward. So you can see here, there's technology and business development. So these two must relate together. But let's go one by one. We go with the technology first. Okay, on the technology, let's see how it goes. First, if you look on the technology evolution, the processing power doubles every 18 months, meaning that if you purchase a laptop today, next year, early next year, there will be a new laptop that processes much more faster, double than what you have purchased earlier. So within 18 months, there will be a quick evolution of the existing processing speed. Secondly, communication. Speed doubles every 9 months. Just imagine, right now we are still using 4G. So next year, we are going to start to use 5G. So the communication will be much more faster. The processing is going to be much more faster. Everything must be fast. And at the same time, the storage capacity doubles every 13 months. Right now it's a bit slower because we are at the transition from HDD to SSD. So it become lesser to 6 months, or 6 months to 8 months. All right, but in average it's every 13 months. So what's the conclusion from here? Technology evolves so fast in terms of speed, in terms of number of data that going to be transmitted from day to day, and the capacity to contain, to store all your data is going to be bigger and bigger. So how does it translate to your business development? Two things. One, when you have a very good technology that provides you speed, you will have a performance improvement. Because why? You can improve your productivity, more effective, more efficient. So when you talk about performance improvement, when you adapt or adopt with the technology, it will boost your performance higher than before. Secondly, on the cost economies. Okay, so you can push the cost lower and lower. Because why? For example, if you have automation, you can cut down several things and then make use of your manpower at other point. At the same time, you can reduce the cost. I've heard this story from one of the popular logistic company. They said that last 20 years ago, when they paid their driver, it's around 400 ringgit. Nowadays, it became like almost 2,000 plus incentive. What does it mean? Meaning that the salary increase from 20 years ago to now. Well, that's quite logic. But the price that their customer expected is going lower and lower. So how can they maintain and sustain their business model? So they need to optimize their costs by adopting the digital tools. This is where you can reduce the cost and increase the performance at the same time using digital tools. So this is digital transformation is all about. But how come a lot of people saying that digital transformation will disrupt the market and etc.? Look at the graph here. You can see there is exponentially increase for the technology, but the business development goes very straight. So the gap there is where this new startup entering the market. This gap that always being manipulated by a lot of people, saying that this is the disruptor. If you want to become the disruptor, you need to be at this gap. Actually, it's wrong. Because why? Right now, a lot of disruption happen maybe when we look at the major companies, the big companies. We look at Netflix, and we quote about Blockbuster. We quote about Kodak, and then we quote about other big names, but it didn't reflect in the reality towards your business. So let's forget a while about this disruption concept. I don't really like to talk about disruption concept, but let's talk about how to avoid from digital magpie syndrome. The reason why is when people keep pushing you, oh, you need to enter this digital transformation journey because or else your business will be disrupted. And you start to purchase things that might not be necessary for your organization. When you look to AI, for example, artificial intelligence, or maybe you want to see something that's very modern, augmented reality, or maybe you want to involve in blockchain. But at the end of the day, have you asked your end user, your employee, does it going to reflect towards your business performance or not? Sometimes it's good for you to think back. The best informer for you is actually coming from the inside of your organization. So let's get the concept right. Disruption doesn't mean that you need to be the most innovative company. Remember that. You don't need the most innovative tools to become a disruptor. I would like to quote one of my favorite Austrian economists. His name is Joseph Schumpeter. Joseph Schumpeter didn't use the word disruption, but he used the word destruction. So he explained in his book about the gale of creative destruction that happened in 1930s, not like 2 decades ago, but wow, almost a century, not really a century, yes, almost a century ago. Just imagine, during that time, he already explained that the technology, the innovation, will always have this destruction happen. How to visualize this thing? Let's take a look on the story of Swatch versus Casio. Okay, last time Swatch is very good. It's the top player in the watchmaker market. So during this time, around 1970s plus, okay, Swatch is suddenly going disrupted. I can see that it's a bit. The performance is getting degraded. The reason why is during this time Casio appeared, and Casio adopted with that existing trend, which is called quartz movement. So what happened when someone reluctant to use the digital debt becoming a trend, he will left behind quite far. That's what happened to Swatch. He didn't use the most innovative technology at the time, but Casio used it. Remember, it's not being the most innovative, but following the trend of the technology evolution. So now, what can we do from here? Before you start to purchase things, before you start to brainstorming on how to go digital because of this pandemic crisis, think about why do you want to change at first? Well, you have at least 5 factors here according to digital maturity concept. Some people say better look at digital maturity compared to using the buzzword digital transformation. So from 5 factors here, I categorize it into 3. If you look at the values and innovation of your company, you need to change because of your own company. If you are looking from the customer needs, then you will change on the customer values and the customer demand. And if you look from the angle of competition, you will look at the data and your own competitors. So this is the reason why you change together with technology evolution. So you can put yourself here. Either you want to invest very high or very low, or maybe in the middle. but how the culture evolved in your company. Is there any initiative from your company to nurture the digital culture among your employees? Because why? Sometimes you have a very good software, sometimes you have a very good digital tools, but your employee can't adapt to it, can't use it, maybe because of the the resistance that happened. So think back on your future investment in this part. Think, or you can run and then become a champion. Before I move to the second section, I just want to have a quick myth buster. If you like this, this series, I really love it. I just want to check on the digital myth that appears in the market right now. Some of them saying that digital is primarily about the customer experience. Well, right now, a lot of people are going to use this jargon, customer experience, CX, CX, CX. Well, it's good, but you need to look at different angle in the sense of your process efficiency, your productivity, and your employee leverage. Again, I stress here, employee is the keyword. Some say that digital primarily is for B2C companies. Because why? They are looking at digital marketing. They are not looking at everything. Actually, the opportunities exist in all industries, not only B2C, but also B2B. Number three, people always say that it must be from bottom up. So sometimes bosses will ask at their end user, what do you want? It's not really that way, but it must be aligned with your business strategy. So from the top, giving to the bottom, listen back, and goes up. That's why you will have a good investment afterwards. So if we do not do enough digital initiative, we will get there. Yes, but the transformation, again, is about the culture to drive your overall performance. And last but not least, digital transformation will happen despite our IT, not really. We in FujiZero believe in the market speed model. The IT right now needs to talk based on business language. It's pandemic crisis, everyone needs to be flexible from now on. So let's go through on the second section, the COVID disruption to COVIDigital, from crisis to opportunities. Let's have a look for a while and think back. Why is it different this time? Because COVID crisis is not economic crisis that we faced in 1997, 1998, 2008, 2009, or maybe before than that, 1987. It's not that way. It's not the same as what we faced during the SARS or maybe 9/11 World War, if you want to go beyond than that. But this thing has stopped a lot of things. This virus has changed the way we work, the way we communicate. I'm going to show you how crisis impacted our behavior after this. So what's the situation right now? Well, quite obvious, we know which one impacted most and which one not. And COVIDigital, if I can just glance through here, the COVID crisis has bring a lot of disruption in the sense of unemployment, supply chain disruption. All these challenges that you see on the screen right now is quite common. Everyone is facing the same thing. But how can we come up from this point onwards? How can we pick up our strength back and then start to run as what we did before? We need to understand the digital strategy in the third session. But first, let me explain you on the relation between the crisis and the long-lasting changes. So I explained earlier, when we have 9/11, actually we have a new policies. Last time when we went through the airport gate, it will be quite okay, not really strict. But nowadays, it's totally different. They will check from top to the bottom. And even SARS, during the SARS time, we have a new consumer behavior. This is the time when Alibaba started to gain their popularity. And people start to use the e-commerce. And now everyone is using it, right? And even if we go to the World War II, we can see that the woman is joining the workforce after the bloody wars. So what happened to our workplace right now? What happened to the trends right now based on COVID crisis? Well, this is way before we had this crisis. In January, I think we're still working in office, but what happened next is quarantine. During the quarantine time, no people going to office, everyone needs to work from home. And when work from home doesn't mean that you need to make yourself comfortable to work at home, but actually the changes of our attitudinal shifting happen when all companies are now adopting to work remote culture. By work remotely doesn't stop there. Work remotely actually goes beyond than that. Because why? It impacted a lot in three things. First, in the sense of collaboration. Second, process. And third, on the security part. Because why? When we work from two different locations, right now, I know some of you maybe have adopted the hybrid office, where certain portion of your workforce will work from office, another group will work from home. It will take turn and etc. I think it's quite common right now. So in the sense of collaboration, how you transfer your file, how you share your task will be done everything through digital. And then the time to process here, we are looking at how document can be processed to get approval. That's the most basic part. Or in terms of security, how can we ensure that the file that we share will be secure? I have shared with you this morning on the security part. So today, at this time, I would like to focus on number one and number two. Because why? The collaboration and the process need to be fast, resilient, practical. Must be able to accelerate the process, even though we are working at different locations, anywhere, everywhere. But at the same time, we must make sure that our business continuity is always there. So it doesn't matter if you finish the first, no, but you finish fast, but it must be practical, and at the same time, it must be continuous. That's the difference on COVID disruption. So now, if you can look on the study done by McKinsey here, everything is going faster. If the process before this require you, or maybe like a week, and it must go lesser than that. Or even if it's require a month to approve something, it must be faster than that. How can you do that? Without a right tool, without the right method. Hence, there is no other way compared to before. From COVID disruption, you need to leverage the digital tools, and that's why we call it COVIDigital, where every company is effectively a software company now, and you are acting accordingly. That's true, right? So before we move further, I just want you to ask yourself the questions to ponder. How will your customer needs after this? How will you create a human-like interaction with customer? How will you create resilience in your supply chain? How can you reduce the workforce, or maybe shift your workforce to another place that maybe can increase the productivity? Make use of your workforce right now. So all of these questions you must think first before you start to plan out your digital transformation journey. Before we go on the digital strategy, I just want to bring a quick story about Mi Bandung. Oh, looks so tempted right now because I'm fasting. Okay, the story of Kedai Mak Ngah Mi Bandung. Okay, just look at it in this angle. I just want you to have a look here on how they operate during MCO. It will reflect the same way what we did during our daily life in our office right now. For example, the son of Mak Ngah right now receive order through WhatsApp because they can't operate as normal. This is before the MCO, the CMCO. So during the MCO, he needs to receive order from WhatsApp. So the customer will accept them and then ask to prepare certain orders. And then the information he will jot down on a piece of paper and then he pass it to the kitchen. And then they have two sections of the kitchen. One doing roti canai, another one doing the mi bandung. It's very delicious at TTD Ajaya. Share promote. All right, but once they the kitchen have done and prepared the orders, they will put everywhere at the restaurant. Like on table, everywhere they put it, and then they just put a note. So it will have like 1, 2, 3 until quite a lot of numbers of orders. And then when the customer arrive and asking for the order, it will take time for them to find the right order for that particular customer. First, he will need to scroll down, check the numbers, and etc. So now, what if we ask them, can they adopt at least the right technology for them to connect from one to another, so that when customers come to their restaurant, they can just quickly pick up the right order and then go back without need to wait anymore. So just imagine if from the ordering process, we can automate it to pass the information direct to both kitchen sections, and then at the same time giving the real-time status to customer. I know it sounds so futuristic for SMEs, but just think about it. You don't need to invest much because you're operating in small scale. But if you have the right tools to integrate all this communication, you will have a new communication approach. At the same time, you will bring your business value higher, because previously, if they need to wait, now they don't need to wait. They can just come at the restaurant according to the time given. Let's say 4 p.m., your order will complete, like pizza, maybe. So this is where you apply your transformation. You must understand what will be the process, what will be the struggle of the company to fulfill the customer needs. So it must be fast, resilient, and practical. So let's talk about digital strategy now. You have some time, right? All right, adopt, adapt, and evolve. Before we purchase, I know I need to put myself in your shoes. Maybe some of you saying that, well, we are having issues in the finance and we are doing cost cutting, etc. Yes, we understand that. Don't worry. We are looking at our customer from their angle. We have 3 categories of customers right now, based on stages. One, we look at the customer that are currently doing the cost cutting. Secondly, those who are already passed through that stage and doing the cost optimization. They are planning to do something. And then the value optimization company is those who already run fast compared to those cost cutting and cost optimization categories. So these 3 categories will help us to understand you better. The reason why is, if those who are still at the stage of cost cutting, we will try to share with you to increase your knowledge on digital technology first. So we will give the right time and bring you through the journey by stages. If those who are looking at cost optimization, we will bring in the advice from our specialists and from our technical expertise to help you to choose the right tools. For those who already run fast, there is different stage. We're going to explain to you on how we can help you to bring your business value to the higher level. So these 3 stages are totally different from one to another. So try to put yourself, which part actually you are now in. Is it you are still at cost cutting process or cost optimization process, or maybe you already passed through all these 2 and then you want to run faster than before. Let me share with you the Fuji Xerox story. Okay. So on the Fuji Xerox story, we set according to our customers' demand right now. We can't push everyone to buy things. Of course, we are the most understandable companies. Well, that's a very good claim here, but really, Fuji Xerox, I really love this company because the way we understand human being is to work here. Once you work with Fuji Xerox, you will understand human behavior more than you do at outside. So when we study our customer, we look from their angle. We can see that some of them are at different set. So that's why we call it on your mark, get set, go. First, we set which mark are you now at? Is it at the adapting of this crisis, or adopting, or evolving? So we have these 2 package. One is go digital for those who passively looking for a new tools. And another one is Go Transform program, those who want to run faster than before. By having this, we will have a good business resiliency plus digital innovation strategy at the right point at the right time. I'm going to explain it afterwards on what we have on the Go Digital. Go Transform, basically I've explained in the earlier stage, means the earlier section in the morning, where I explained on the final code, where we explain on the security product and tools. But the most important part here is we are not going to leave you alone by just buying things and then we cut the ties. No, that's not the way we work. We personalize everything. The way you want to embark your digital transformation. If some of you have been using our Fuji machine, multifunctional devices, we're going to leverage what you have right now for you to move to another stage. That's why we put personalization as the key point here. All right, because in Fuji Xerox, the unique selling point here is we have a good machine. We have been advocating our customer to embark this digital transformation journey using our APO Spot machine. At the same time, we have a broad range of solution software, starting from document handling to document management to up to file security and also AI, robotic processing automation. All that we have in our portfolios. But the most important criteria that we also have is the human intelligence. We have the key expertise on every session. So whatever you want to do right now, just tell us, and we're going to have a consultation first, so we understand your needs and requirement. We're not going to follow directly, but we're going to advise you. If you go wrong way, we're going to advise you what will be the right way, or else we're not going to achieve the right target that you have the ambition to achieve that target. So we work based on your target and be realistic, be practical. So in order for you to go digital, we have these two great tools for you in collaborating and processing. The reason why we put DocuWorks and DocuSign. First, DocuWorks is the best document handling software in the market right now. We use it in our internal operation for you to share your documents within your network or external networks. Meaning that if you are working in your office, you use DocuWorks to transfer from one point to another point, from one user to another user, or you can create your own virtual desk. So let's say, for example, if you have a marketing department and you have admin department, they want to share the same documents among themselves. So you can set a virtual desk using the DocuWorks. While if you want to have a faster approval process, you can use the DocuSign, the digital signature. It's one of the best digital signature software in the world, even being used by Facebook, Apple, and etc. So let's go through quickly, one by one, on DocuWorks. So DocuWorks serves as a platform for you to work everywhere, anywhere. It will be very easy to use because you can use the task-based. When you want to work in the digital world, you will have this habit of digital hoarding. It's quite typical, where you want to keep all your documents. You think that it's very important. So you will stack one by one and then you copy without having the real file name. Sometimes you just put test.doc, or maybe you have a temporary file and then you just name it according to what you think you will search it later. But unfortunately, you will not search it, and it will eat your storage at the end of the day. So that's why using this DocuWorks, it will help you to handle your document carefully. By having the task space, you just need to do by one click to assign yourself with the documents that you are working right now. So you just need to look at the task space from office or you are on the way going back to the home, or you want to go back to the office later, you can still see the same document at that time. So we call this as task space in the DocuWorks. It's very powerful tools for you to use. At the same time, it will help you to manage your document well. That's why we call it document handling software. Apart from DocuWorks, we have digital signature DocuSign. So right now, previously, if your work based on paper, it will be very hard, right? For you to pass one document to another, from one person to another person to get their signature. So right now, you need to think back. Is the process right now still relevant or not? Because we are going to the digital. So we need to get the signature fast. So there's no other way apart from using the e-signature here. So what I want to stress here is we can simplify the whole process based from paper to digital. Just imagine this is how it looks like. You have preparation, sign, act, manage, and a lot of lack of visibility and etc. But when you go digital, just imagine from a stack of paper, vote, and then it become a handphone. You can you just sign in from your tablet or phone, send, sign, and manage. You can look at the process efficiently, fast, and most importantly, it will secure your document. So if you ask me, in terms of legality, in Malaysia, we have this ECA, we have Evidence Act 1950s. You can use it for a lot of cases. For example, like HR documents right now, commercial agreements, consumer agreements, real estate documents. You can use digital signature right now. It's time for you to change. The reason why I say DocuSign is the best is because it's being trusted by the major companies. As you can see here, it's 10 out of the top 15 global financial services companies is using DocuSign. They have processed almost 330 million documents right now. So in the sense of security, how fast the processing is, everything is already there. It's just a matter for you to adapt, adopt, and evolve with this process. So I just focus on these two things, DocuWorks and DocuSign. So let me guide you through on the DocuSign video, just a quick one before we end up today's session. So this is how it looks like. So when you have a document, you just need to key in the name of the recipient, put the location or the point where the recipient needs to sign, and then quickly send it. As simple as that. And the one who received it just need to open it up using a tablet like this one. And then they can choose their signature. And then, or maybe they just sign based on what they see from the tablet. And this is just a small portion of DocuSign. You have a Power Form features as well, where you can set for your organization to handle your document processing. That's even powerful. That's why we call it Power Form. Okay, so the personalization happened here. From the week 1 until week 4, we have the right way for you to adapt to this new environment by adopting the right tools. So the week 1, we're going to give you a starter pack, a trial license. And then the second week, you will learn through virtual learning, while week 3, we will consult you. We will check with you how the process being done so far. So is it you're going to be, you want to run more faster? You want to involve more people in your team or in your organization? So at the week 4, at least, we can start to have one small department as a pilot project for your organization to go digital. So this is the way we work on Go Digital package. So how about that? We have Go Digital, we have personalization, we have the right tools for you. But think first, what is your business needs right now? What we propose here is based on the data we have. We know a lot of companies out there struggle on collaboration, on processing their documents. So that's why we just focus only these two tools only for you to think back. Is it worth or not for you to invest? Well, we have other things, RPA, AI, and etc. But at this stage, during this crisis, we want to help you. We want to assist you, be your partner to work on building your strength to go against this crisis together. That's why we are not only your provider, but we are your partner, Fuji Xerox. So the way forward, I just want to summarize everything that we have discussed today. 5 key lessons for you to take note. All right, before you go digital. First, figure out your business strategy before you invest in anything. I explained earlier, listen to the insider, listen to the needs. Maybe you can think that your organization needs a machine learning strategy, but maybe it's not really something that you need at this stage, at this time. So you need to look at the broader business strategy. Secondly, as again, leverage insiders. Seek the information from the end user. Sometimes when you want to do something, we always neglect the opinion from the end user while they are the one who needs to use the tools. So that's why you need to look at how they can adopt that technology, or else your plan will fail. Number 3, design customer experience from the outside in. Look at your customer needs, look at your customer requirement, and how you can leverage on that and come up with a better offer using the right tools. And number 4, recognize your employees' fear of being replaced. This is the biggest resistance. If you remember the story of the Luddites, Luddites, during this first industrial revolution, a lot of people during that time don't want to use the textile machine because they are afraid their job will be replaced. So they neglect it and they don't want to use the tools. The same happened here. We call it digital Luddites, where some employees will feel fear. Oh, I don't have other skills to cope right now. I don't have any other skills I need to maintain doing the same thing for the past 10 years, 20 years. This is wrong perception. We need to correct that. We just need to advise them, bring them to a different area that can leverage their skills and their potential to move even further. All right, and last but not least, this is what we have done so far, bring Silicon Valley startup culture inside. You need to be fast, you need to be agile in doing something. That's why Silicon Valley startup culture need to be inside. Or else, if you still maintain with the same bureaucratic process, it will take longer time for you to evolve as the digital company. So that's 5 lessons for you. Think about it. Just think about it first before you start investing, or else we're afraid you're going the wrong way. That's why we are here to help you to navigate the right way for you. With that, a Q&A. If there's any Q&A, maybe can I have a look here? Oh, we have one regarding the DocuSign. Is there any restriction to use it for legal issues? Oh, okay, I have some notes here. Can I go back for a while on, let me check first on this. Okay, here actually I put it in notes. There are a few things that you can't use for DocuSign. Let me be honest with you. Like for example, for the power of attorney, okay, let me put my lawyer hat for a while. I need to read it. For example, ECA section 2 in the bracket 2, the power of attorney still requires a handwritten. Wills and codicils and trust section 2 in the bracket 2, ECA still require a handwritten. I know this one a bit sound a bit legal here, a lot of section here, but so far we can identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections that not allow you to use the DocuSign. For example, the money lending agreement, bill of sales, statutory declaration, because we have a limitation on Statutory Declarations Act 1960s. Some of it can't be used. That's why we recommend to use the case of electronic signature based on 4 points here. Like for example, you can start for HR documents, commercial agreements, consumer agreements, and real estate documents. And the one that relates to the law right now, still we are waiting for the reformation to be happen. Okay, I hope that answers your question. I don't know, it's anonymous. Let me check. Is there anything else? Okay. Oh, still a lot of interest on DocuSign, I see. Okay. This one I need to refer back to here. Someone asked me what is the difference between digital signatures and electronic signatures. Okay. To make it easier, digital signatures you look at as a technology tools. Electronic signature is something that relates to legal. Okay, because why? Let me elaborate a bit. Digital signatures is like electronic fingerprints in the form of coded message. The digital signature securely associates a signer with a document in a recorded transaction. So digital signature uses standard. There is a standard of encryption, accepted format called public key infrastructure, PKI, to provide the highest level of security. So your e-signature basically is on the signature itself, but digital signature is more on the digital tools. So it got encryption and etc. Allow me to check first if I have the slide to show you. Hold on for a second. Yes. I just dropped this one. Okay. So you can see this is the process of how DocuSign work. Basically, you have data, you have the encryption. That's why, in the sense of security concern, we have taken care of that, even though it goes to the cloud, but doesn't stop you from having a secure environment. So digital signatures and electronic signatures are often used interchangeably, but well, technically they are different. Both types of signatures are created online, yes, and are applied to online documents. However, digital signatures provide an extra level of security. So in overall, let's just put it into two categories. Digital signatures is the tools, or the encryption. E-signatures is your things, your signature that relates to legal. That's the easiest way that I can describe it. So if you want to ask about digital certificate, it's totally different. Digital certificate, we're going to have a different session. It will be much more longer. So I only can take 2 questions. We have running out of time, sorry. Right now it's 4:20. So let me wrap up. If you have any questions, especially on DocuWorks and DocuSign, right now we are focusing on these 2. You can email me at kaiser.abidin@mys.fujirock.com, or you can connect with me at LinkedIn Farhan Abidin. I'm not really active unless I'm searching for a job, so not really. But I'm still active in LinkedIn. So before I finish my presentation, I just want to dedicate one video for all my marketing teams, if possible. Hi marketing teams, thank you for your effort on digital DocuWorld. And at the same time, I would like to wish all of you here that joining our digital DocuWorld a Selamat Hari Raya, Maaf Zahir dan Batin in advance. So watch this video, a quick one.
Perjalanan rentas negeri untuk balik ke kampung semasa cuti perayaan Aidilfitri. Maaf, tidak dia benar.
Okay, Selamat Hari Raya, but just don't go back to kampung. Okay, we're still in CMCO. All right, so that's all from me. If you have feedback, you want, please feel free to submit your valuable feedback here. Follow the links here. Mystery gift awaiting lucky winners. I don't think it's Duit Raya, but it's a mystery. So see you again in our next event. Thank you for joining Digital DocuWorld, transforming your business in a new normal era. Fuji Xerox setting up the new standard. I pass back to Eva. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Farhan.